Team Awesome is back!
Gosh, thank you, Varian, and welcome back to Tangled Talk, everyone. It has been a long hiatus for us. I mean, I don't think we've ever taken, 3 months off in between,
No.
or 2.5 months, whatever. But we've never taken so long a break off in between Tangled Talks. I don't think any of us expected to take the entire hiatus off. But here we are. So happy New Year, everyone. And welcome to the last Tangled Talk of any Tangled hiatus ever. That is right. We have the schedule for the final 8 episodes of Tangled the series. The end is nigh, and we are not okay. And, just to clarify, we have had cast and crew verify that these are the last 8 episodes. The Plus de Temps Vu is the series finale. So, yeah, if you're still wondering about that, it is absolutely confirmed that these are the last 8 episodes of the series.
Yep.
So... Gosh. So before we get into the titles of the last 8 episodes and talk about those and how we feel about those and what we think might happen with those, we wanted to get into the subject of today's actual podcast, which we had planned a couple weeks before, before the episode titles even came out. We wanted to talk about the hiatus madness. The final hiatus of Tangled series was the shortest one in recent memory, clocking in at just under 3 months. The mid-season 2 hiatus was more than twice as long. So why did the fandom go so nuts this time around? Because during this hiatus...
We probably knew the end was nigh, so
Mhm.
that's probably why.
That's part of it. And also I think that a lot of it has to do with the fact that we had so much packed into such a short time that it really felt like longer than 2 weeks. Because... Guess what? We got 9 episodes in 2 weeks. That was crazy. That was absolutely insane, and none of us were ready. And
At least we're not getting the last 8 in 2 weeks.
Oh,
yeah,
thank God.
Just like at least, I mean, it's sure it's back at 7 in the morning, but it's back on Sundays.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Just so you guys know, the official schedule is 7:05 to 7:28, and what that means is that they're going to be running without commercials. Now, as far as we know, by the time next week gets here, next weekend, oh my God, it's like a week away. Holy crap. By the time next weekend gets here, they might have changed their minds about that specifically, or the whole non-commercials might not run for the entire duration, because I know that, like, when you look at the official schedule that came down from Disney Channel, it says 7 to 7:30, so who even knows?
Who knows?
But anyway, yeah, so chances are good we're going to be running without commercials. But yeah, so the hiatus, it was, like, crazy. Like, we as a fandom went absolutely nuts. We got caught up in a lot of silliness and some not so silliness, and in no particular order, we have experienced Eugene Appreciation Week, Lance Appreciation Week, and he's been deserving that a long old time. The rise of the Tumblr blog Badly Drawn Tangled, which also gave us Blonde Varian. The fandom obsession with the YouTube show Fairy Tales and Bedtime Stories, which gave us a unique take on Rapunzel with a not so unique character design. Seriously, if you guys want a good laugh at something being so ridiculous, give it a watch. Do a search for that title and look for the Rapunzel story. It's in like 4 parts. I think like 3 parts is straight Rapunzel, and one of them is like the Endgame version of, like, fairy tale version of Endgame. It was so crazy. And you know what? Clapsy never did get to be a human again.
Aw, I never watched like I think it was the last 2.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, So considering that this whole thing started with Clapsy wanting to be human again, she never did get that.
Oh well.
Go figure. So we also have the speculation that Zontiri is Varian's mom. Some people take this theory more seriously than others. We had a fandom burst of obsession with the idea of Moonjean, where Eugene's the one who
Yes.
shown.
Wow, I've missed a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, people were speculating that Zontiri is Varian's mom? Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
I haven't been on Tumblr very often recently because, but, yeah. Wow, I missed a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
No problem. So after the Moonjean, we suddenly decided that every character in the series should have a moon version, so including Feldspar and Nigel. I think I've seen edits of all 3 of those characters.
I love the
and that's
Feldspar
amazing.
one.
Anyone drawing Moon Edmund? Or Moon Annie?
Oh my gosh. He should not have that much power.
I only see Moon Pascal. I think that was one of the options that I saw. So, like, yeah, it's been absolutely nuts.
Moonuel.
For a brief period of time, we were heavily debating which men in the series are and are not himbos. I mean,
What was I miss?
Damn
Damn it!
That was a fun conversation. I have to admit, though, that, like, the definition of himbo is actually kind of vague. I looked it up, and, like, the term was coined in 1988. And I think in 1988, it was just a male bimbo. Like, straight up, it was supposed to be a guy who was attractive but was an idiot. But now, in, like, modern times, the retake of it has also been, like, they have to be, like, muscular, and they also have to be, like, respectful, and all things considered, my number one top himbo is still Stan. Like, Stan gets to be number one himbo, I'm sorry.
I learned a lot during that phase. I had no idea what that meant. So I was like, what are people arguing about? I'm so confused.
I had only recently heard the term himbo, and I'm like, the only one I know is that guy from Polygon, Brian something or other. He's got that name. I don't know.
I don't even know what you're talking about, so hey, we're all lost.
That's fine.
And then the last thing was the discovery of a King Trevor's son type character in the form of Prince Average from the mostly unknown animated movie Red Shoes and the Seven Dwarves. Seriously, this blonde kid acts just like him. Like, absolutely straight up. For one thing, his name is spelled average, and he pronounces it Average and insists that that's the pronunciation. And, like, he is
Have we looked up to see if any of the crew worked on that?
That's a very good question. I ought to. I think it was made in Korea, though. Like, so it's like straight up a Korean production, even though it was like always intended to be in English. But like this kid, like seriously, this kid is like, what the hell? Why is he so much like Trevor? And of course, there were many other things, but these were the stuff that came up right off the top of my head. But yeah, so I agree that I think it's because we knew the end was coming, and so we're just like went into this kind of rabid fan craze. We knew that the tentpole had the ominous title of Cassandra's Revenge was coming, and we're just like, Revenge Against who? What's going on? So yeah, I mean, I know that a lot of people speculated that maybe she was taking her revenge on Zontiri and or the Enchanted Girl. I don't think that's the case, personally, especially given that we have the episode description for that one. So speaking of that, on to the last 8 episodes of the series. We only have the descriptions for 3 of these. I actually checked right before we started recording just to be sure.
In true Tangled talk fashion.
Yeah, so trust me, we'll probably have more episode descriptions like right before or right after this episode airs.
Yep.
So just so you know. So again, these have been confirmed to be the last episodes by the cast and crew. This isn't speculation. It is literally actually the last 8 episodes of Tangled the series. Brace yourselves because it all ends on March 1st. So, Sunday, January 12th, that's this upcoming Sunday, oh my god, is Pascal's dragon. When Pascal befriends a baby dragon, he must decide between his new friend and the safety of Corona. Now, I saw a post, I think it was yesterday, maybe it was this morning, that was like, I swear to God, if Pascal's dragon has him sacrificing himself again, I'm gonna lose it.
I just love how it's like he must decide between his friend or the safety of all of Corona. Like, Pascal,
maybe
Pascal, come on.
Maybe weigh those a little more. Like,
Well, honestly, though, if you think about it, though, the way that's worded, that's almost like a parallel between Rapunzel and Cassandra and Corona, and it's like, But okay, but an interesting thought. Not thought, but just a thing is that, just so y'all know, 2 years ago, well, not quite 2 years ago, when Ellie and I toured Disney TVA Studios for, we did a tour of the Tangled department. Chris brought us around. It was very, very interesting. But while we spent time in his office, there was a bookshelf of binders, and each binder was an episode and had the episode title on the spine. And we saw Pascal's dragon among those, and we remembered Pascal's dragon.
We actually saw Cassandra's Revenge as well.
Yes, we did.
So we knew about that for a really long time. And
Yeah,
we're like,
what?
What?
What? We're like, Cassandra's revenge against who? Eugene? Who is she revenging against?
who are we revenging? What's going on?
Revenging against? Did she find out who her parents are and take revenge on them? Or we've known about this for a long, long time, and we kept our big mouths shut like good people who were touring a Disney studio.
Until leaked it, and then we were like, ha! Everyone else knows.
But the funny funny thing is that in Be Very Afraid, the last thing Nigel said before he was frozen by the red rock was he was screaming about dragons. And I'm still going,
Oh, yeah.
There really are dragons in the Tangled universe.
Oh.
So, yes. And then that seems to be like our last hurrah before we go into the foray of things to series. Because on Sunday, January 19th, we have Islands Apart. After receiving a message from Owl, Rapunzel and Eugene travel back to the Island of the Lorbs, where they reconnect with the captain of the guard.
Woo! Cap's coming back!
Finally, Cap is coming back. I'm super excited about this. And also, there was a promo from Disney Channel Asia that had clips from this episode on it. And it was like 10 seconds or something. But, like, we were seeing Captain and the island and, like, 50,000 Cassandras. So we kind of have a vague idea of what's going on here, but nothing. We have no idea what's going on here.
Isn't there, like, an army of Freebird Casses? Like...
army of Freebird Casses. You've got, basically Cass in every outfit she's ever been in. I don't think I've seen Child Cassandra, but I really hope she's there, too.
Ooh, yes, evil little child Cassandra.
Oh, my God.
And then we had the one little screen cap of, like... the captain in the balloon with like little Cassandra who he adopted, but he's like needs to shave. Like, whoa, he needs to shave. So I presume that this balloon is how they get to the island in the first place.
Yeah, they're ditching the caravan. They're not doing that anymore. They're like, we're going fast.
The caravan's like gone. It's gone.
The caravan exploded outside the Dark Kingdom.
Just like, no, that's gone. Bye-bye.
So I feel like Eddie could just, like, miraculously bring it back. He's like, I put it back together. And Eugene's like, how?
I'd like to point out once again that Edmund somehow managed to ride Domino from the Dark Kingdom to Corona in, like, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And it took them a year to get there, you know? And I'm just like, Edmund, what are you hiding?
He's just better. He's just better than everyone.
I hope he
Except
comes
his
back. Oh, my gosh.
I know.
I watched Return of the King today. I was like, please, this better not be the last thing we see him in.
Honestly, he's in the journal. I doubt we'll never see him again. Like, I don't think he would have
back, and I hope he remains alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I'd like to point out that with this episode, I'm really into the idea, because I've been wondering for a while, how long is Owl going to stay loyal to Cassandra? So is Owl's message like, was he going for help because Cass has gone overboard, or was he sent after them to lure them there so that army of Cass can, like, destroy them? Or what the heck is going on? And I'm really, really curious and confused and excited. So,
can't wait.
Following that, Sunday, January 26th is Cassandra's Revenge. It is the 1 hour mid-season. Now, keep in mind that if we don't have commercials, it's actually going to be more like 45 minutes. But when Rapunzel feels ready to settle down and begin living a normal life, Cassandra returns to Corona with a score to settle. So, like, proposal, anyone?
Oh God, I hope so.
I really hope that that they get engaged and they spend the rest of the season engaged. And are, like, just this power-engaged couple. And, like, in between their shenanigans, they're planning a wedding. I mean, that would be, like, amazing. I would be all over that. Like, crazy-ass nonsense. By the way, what cake flavor do you want? You know?
And here's the thing. Every crew member that we've talked to and asked what their favorite episode is, it's this episode. Yeah, so this is, like, the big one.
The entire crew is looking forward to us seeing this episode. Yeah. So this is the episode.
Yes.
So I'm hoping for things like Zontiri's release in this episode.
Yes.
I know that I think that this is the one where the group number that we've been affectionately calling the ladder song. I think that this is the episode that is going to come in, because a lot of people have been saying that their favorite song in the series is in this episode. So yeah, I think that's going to be it. And yeah, so I'm super excited. This is the one, like, we got this title leaked like a year and a half ago. And so we've been kind of going like, what's going on about that for a year and a half. And now we're finally here and we're on the verge of knowing what the heck is going on with this. So after this, we do not have episode descriptions yet. So here's what we got. Sunday, February 2nd is Race to the Spire. Part of the reason why I think that Zontiri is going to be releasing Cassandra's Revenge is because the last time we saw, or the first time in a long time that we saw any indication of Zontiri still being a thing, was in the Spire. Like,
and they focused on it. Like,
and they focused on, like,
yeah.
really focus on it. So, like, the implication that there will be some information in there that can help them is, that's pretty looming. Also, I mean, I know she's annoying as hell, but I'm kind of looking forward to seeing Calliope again. Because, like, I don't know, she grew on me. Like, it took a couple watch-throughs of the episode, but I'm like, no, I don't hate her. I mean, I don't like the magic part, but I don't hate her. So there's like, we've got the little Curlock, who was adorable.
Yes.
And I wonder if we're gonna like have anything else in the Spire, like, because we had that one long shot that had like all of those like Disney homages in it. I wonder if we're gonna see anything else that's gonna be interesting like that. Be like, by the way, here's some other thing that we hadn't pulled out before. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to going back to the Spire. That should be fun. I hope that she's got it better organized now that she's officially the keeper of the Spire, the real keeper of the Spire. Spire. So on Sunday, February 9th, we have A Tale of Two Sisters. So, okay, I know that generally speaking, a lot of the fandom kind of like agrees with me on this one, where we presume it's going to be about Rapunzel and Cassandra, but also I really hope it's not about Rapunzel and Cassandra, because they are like literally not sisters.
Yeah.
Because Gothel was no mother to either of them. Not raised as sisters. And also something that I realized recently is that between the two of them, Rapunzel's the only one who's ever called them sisters or compared them to sisters.
Yeah.
And Cass doesn't seem to agree. And for whatever reason that Cass doesn't agree, by Rapunzel doing that, she's actually, like, verbally raising Cass to an elevation and a status that Cassandra can't actually have, but wants. So it's like, to me, it seems like calling her sisters is like a thorn in Cassandra's side, So what I'm hoping for is I'm hoping that it's about Ariana and Willow, or maybe Kira and Catalina, or another random thought I had was, what if it's about Gothel and Sugracha?
Ooh, that would be crazy.
Maybe they're not blood sisters either, but they were like, just like together, different masters. So it would be very interesting if it was actually about them. It'd be very interesting to see the disciples interacting with one another, because we haven't had to see that. I'm still like holding out hope for like a musical number with the three disciples, because I know all three of them can sing. So I'm just like, I really want a song. Three of them, and one of them is Gavin, and if we get a song out of Gavin, then like yay. So
I'll die.
Yeah, so that's my that'd be great. It's awesome. Okay, so next one is on Sunday, February 16th, Flynn Poster. So
oh my god, you guys.
This is one with Chris Diamantopoulos playing the budding Flynn Rider, which we got that description back when season 3, right before it aired. So like, dude, bring it. I've been curious for the longest time.
I tweeted at Tom Caulfield, and I was like, if I think what's happening is happening, I'm going to die. And he's like, oh, I'm so excited for you to see this episode. And I'm like, oh my god.
No.
Oh my god. Because, guys, I think it might be Bastion.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if it's
It
going to
could be
Bastion, but I think it would be really cool if this little baby punk trying to be Flynn is like, Eugene's like, what's your real name? And he's like, Bastion, and I turn into a corpse at that exact moment. Yeah. Also, make it up to me for naming Eugene Horace, because I'm like, it was so wasted not using Bastion. But if I will only forgive them if Bastion is Flynn Poster.
I would love that. Honestly, I'd be all over that. Also, I'm hoping that this will be like a Eugene and Edmund and maybe even Varian bonding episode. Because how long would it be to see all of the Flynn Rider fanboys hanging out together, being Flynn Rider fanboys? That would be amazing. Like, oh my god, that would be so cool. But okay,
I want to see Eddie and Varian interacting.
Right?
Yes.
They're like, remember that part in that book? And he's like, oh my god, I know. Remember that part? And they're like, oh!
I fought the Earl of Camembert. He's like, oh my god, that was amazing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay. No, but I just had this thought about what if this whole thing opens up with like a brand new wanted poster, and Eugene's just like, what? This doesn't look anything like me. What the heck?
Oh my gosh.
Even the nose is wrong. The whole face is wrong. And it's just like someone else entirely. Also, another interesting thought that I've heard other people speculate and I really like, because in Islands Apart, we're going to go back to the Lord's Island, and then Cassandra's Revenge takes place back in Corona, but then Race to the Spire is obviously going to go to the Spire. What if they are traveling back to Corona? So, like, Flynn Posture takes place in Varderos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah. So, I'm, like, down with the idea of getting to see a whole bunch of old characters that we like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we said goodbye to you. We'll probably never see you again. So, that would be awesome.
Yo, when's the Baron coming back?
Is
he dead?
Well, you know what? Stallion didn't act like he was poisoned, or didn't act like he had died of that spider bite, so I presume that he didn't. But, like, she's also clearly not hanging off him right now. She was out doing her own thing, but who knows how often she went off and did her own thing back in. So, yeah, where the heck is the Baron?
Where's Anthony the Weasel?
That would be amazing. But yeah, so I'm super hoping for stuff like that. I'd love to see some of the season 2 characters again, especially considering the fact that I had speculated for a long time and have not 100% given up on the idea of, in the finale, basically everybody that Rapunzel has helped throughout the series comes to her aid in the finale.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love this army of, like, hey, remember this character? Remember that character? Hey, so yeah, I'm hoping for that.
Oh my God! What if it is Bastion, and at the end, when Eugene, because Eugene's probably going to try and reform this child, most likely. I'm assuming he's going to be a child. What if he lets him work with Xavier?
Aww.
Like Bastion was originally supposed to.
Aww.
Because the funny thing is that I had the thought of what if he actually has the design of the Johnny Depp version of Bastion.
Ooh.
That would be funny.
That would be funny. So, yeah. So, I mean, I'm hoping you're right. You're right.
Otherwise I'll be mad at the crew forever for naming him for it. And wasting Bastion. How could you waste him?
Right?
I don't understand.
Considering that, like, the character of Bastion went with 2 iterations.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and like also we've talked about Bastion in the fandom. Clearly, I can tell added things
something that the fandom has liked, you know.
Fandom has, like, this. They had to have seen fan art of Eugene in a Corona Guard outfit to put that episode in there. Like, they knew we wanted that. So I just can't.
I'm with you on that.
I can't imagine that there wouldn't be Bastion, because
like,
we
no reference to
so
Bastion
early.
whatsoever in the entire series. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so on Sunday, February 23rd, we have Once a Handmaiden. And the interesting thing with that is, if you think about the phrase, it's usually once a blank, always a blank.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no way that Cassandra can go back to being a handmaiden. Like, clearly this is not the life for her, being a handmaiden. So this, I think, first of all, this indicates that Cass is not going to be Moon Cass anymore. Like, I don't know if she's going to reform in this episode or if she's going to reform before this episode. Like, if A Tale of Two Sisters is about Rapunzel and Cassandra, then that might be Cass's reformation episode. But yeah, so Once a Handmaiden, I'm really, really curious about, because it's like, so is she gonna be a guard? Is she gonna, like, go off to Ingvar?
Mm-hmm.
Is she gonna die? I mean, what's gonna go on with Cass in this episode? Because I'm pretty dang sure that this is gonna be, like, the Cass-centric episode.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the Cass-centric episode that leads directly into Plus de Temps Vu on March 1st, which is a 90-minute finale.
Woo-hoo.
Guys, this is a 3-episode finale. The series is ending with a 3-parter.
Also, if it's 90 minutes, that means we're only 10 minutes behind the actual runtime of Tangled itself.
So there you go.
Except
There's your sequel, people.
Except you also have to remember that it's not, like, literally 90 minutes, because you have to take into account commercial breaks, so it's more like an hour and 10 minutes, you know? Something like that. You have to, like, remember that approximately half an hour of that 90 minutes is going to be quote-unquote commercial break. But yeah, so it's a 3-part finale. It is 3 episodes worth. Unfortunately, we do know for a fact now that season 3 has less episodes than the other 2 seasons. We're not sure why they did this. Maybe Disney just was like done and they're like, get it out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Make it shorter. We don't care. But yeah, so season 3 is shorter, which made me sad because I anticipated having, like 3 more episodes than this.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. And that's going to be our finale, Plus de Temps Vu. And since that is, kind of where this whole thing started was Plus de Temps Vu.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's bittersweet and it's exciting. And I'm very eager to see where this is going to take us.
I think Rapunzel's going to go God mode.
Yes.
God mode. I think it would be amazing if Rapunzel went God mode. If she took up the sun and the moon drop. I actually saw speculation the other day that there is no sun drop left in Rapunzel at all since she can't even heal, but what the Moonstone did was create a vessel that it could go into. And so she was always supposed to take the Moonstone, but she doesn't have the sun in her at all anymore, which circles back to the speculation that Eugene was the last one touched by the sun. And also, if you look at what Vigor the Visionary said, Vigor said that the moon cannot shine without the sun's light. If Rapunzel is the moon and Eugene is shining on her, he is the sun and she is the moon.
Yeah.
Whoa, they switch places.
They switch places, bro. Meant to be forever. They're the sun and moon, prince and princess, and then later king and queen forever. Except still, Eugene's never going to be the king. But yes.
He'll act like the king, though.
Well, he'll act the way that Ariana does. He'll be like...
act how he acts.
He'll act how
he sees
okay, honestly, what I hope we see at some point in the next 8 episodes, largely because it just hasn't happened and I really missed it, is like in the epilogue for Tangled, Eugene steals the crown right off the top of Rapunzel's head.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been waiting for him to do like sneaky thief things like that around her for 3 seasons. Well, 2.5 seasons. But so I'm really hoping we get some sort of a him being playful by literally stealing, pickpocketing her, I guess, pick crowning her, or so I really hope we get something like that. But so Plus de Temps Vu.
I know it's probably not going to happen, but I really want when they meet up with Captain of the Guards for Eugene to be like, hey, guess what? I'm a prince! And he'll be like, you're what?
Actually, I can also imagine Captain being like, do you think now is really the time for this?
And Eugene's like, yes, of course. It's important.
It is always the time for me to tell you that I'm a prince. I will remind you again in 5 minutes.
And again, and again, and again, and again. Will you shut up?
Oh, that would be great. Just like him being like, that's Prince Eugene Fitzherbert. Prince Fitzherbert to you, sir.
In the thick of battle, he's like, Eugene is like, that's Prince Eugene to you. Shut up!
Oh, God. I want it so bad.
Yep.
That's just like, once Dark Prince Eugene got confirmed, I was like, all right, I want every other character to find out now. I need to see everyone's reactions. It's gonna be funny.
Oh yeah, also guys who listen to us but are not on Tumblr, I wanted to point something out. The wiki is presently claiming that you're basically gonna have Edmund, Adira, and Hector and Kieran all in Plus de Temps Vu. That is not confirmed. No one has said that. Somebody edited it to include what they wanted. As often happens with the wiki. So just a casual reminder that the wiki is not really a reliable source because any old person can edit it to say whatever the heck they want.
The wiki's been saying Cass's Revenge was the season 3 opener for 2 seasons. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Oh, it's not. We've had the episode number for that episode since that page was leaked. And so I don't know, they just
don't listen to the wiki.
They don't pay attention at the wiki and they post whatever the heck they want. The wiki actually had the Googly Nicer as an episode for a while until we had so many of the crew being like, that's not an episode. So that's just a little heads up there, guys. So do not assume that anything that's on the wiki is accurate unless it is sourced. Like, if they've got a source, by all means, believe it. But, like, don't assume that anything of future information is accurate. Just don't. It's in your best interest. But yeah, this has been a particularly short one, but we did want to get going again before the series started up again on Sunday. Yeah, I'm still kind of freaking out, and I'm still not ready. And it's so bittersweet, and like I know I'm going to be crying and crying and crying and crying.
It's going to be a freaking mess. It's going to be rough.
Like also, like, on the other hand, I also have to look at it and be like, I honestly never expected to get any more, like, original Tangled content again. So the whole thing has been a blessing of just like, by the way, here's more of that stuff you love that you never thought you were going to get. I mean, it's crazy to think about because, like, we got the first announcement that they were making a series in 2015. It's like, dude, like, and then we waited 2 years before we actually got to see it, So it's just like, dang, this has been like a crazy ride. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but it's also feels like it's been longer, So it's like all over the place. It's nuts.
One thing I am kind of sad about is I'm like, oh, why didn't they stretch out the hiatus like way, way more?
I know, right?
Give us the last episode on Tangled's 10th birthday.
Yeah, that's one thing. Also, speaking of anniversaries, somebody realized that Pascal's Dragon airs the day before Tangled Ever After anniversary.
Yep.
So, this
the day before Eugene and Rapunzel's 8th anniversary.
Oh my gosh.
Season 3 picks back up right before their anniversary. So.
Yep.
And then 2 episodes after that, they might be getting engaged for reals finally.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, me too. I love the idea of, like, they go to this island and there's all these Cassandras and Rapunzel's all like, nope, I'm done. I'm going to go home and get married.
She's like, that's
bye.
it.
Okay, you've pushed me past my breaking point. I just can't deal with this nonsense anymore.
She's like, you want to talk about crossing the line? I've crossed mine. I'm getting married. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. And Eugene's just like, wait, what?
He's like, hold on.
Got the ring somewhere. Hold on, I've only got it on me.
It's a different doublet. I gotta figure out what pocket I put it in.
It somehow ends up in Edmund's armory. In the figgy pudding pocket.
It's covered in pudding.
And he pulls it out and the box is just covered in pudding.
Oh, man.
And Eugene's like, nope, I'm back to hating you.
No.
That's the one episode I can literally watch just over and over again, and it never gets old. It's so good.
So good.
I watched it today. I was like, this is fantastic.
It's everything I ever wanted.
Yes, it's so good.
Yeah.
Like, after I got Dark Prince Eugene, I'm like, this is what I want. I want Fitz bonding. Give me the Fitz bonding.
And it was perfect.
And they did.
And none of us were expecting Edmund to be the one to produce the sash that he wears at the wedding.
Oh, that was too much for me.
Speaking of the wedding, okay, so I had this thought the other day that somebody was just like, yeah, Lance and Edmund are just late to the wedding. That's all. And I'm like, yeah, because they're hungover from the bachelor party. That is my new headcanon until proven otherwise. That Lance and Edmund are like just hungover from the bachelor party, so they're late to the wedding.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! So like Lance is meant to be best man, and like because he's hungover and late to the wedding, you're just like, oh Max, you do it. Not practiced at all about this, and while they're like, oh I know, throwing petals in a horse's nose isn't gonna cause any problems.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. It's beautiful and wonderful, and yeah. Oh yeah. So as I was saying, so we are going to cover each of the episodes. Thank God it's only one a week. Honestly, guys, we have not yet decided what our schedule after the series ends is. We might have like a podcast or two of cool down, but we are not carrying this podcast on indefinitely. Just be in the know.
There's no content. I do it.
There's no content. We can't really be like keep going and talk about old stuff forever. But
we could have a special Tangled's 10th birthday podcast.
Yes.
I'm down for a special Tangled's 10th birthday podcast. But yeah, just like crazy cool stuff and really stressed and happy and sad and bittersweet. And these are my emotions, people. They're just spewing out of me. Spew, spew, spew. Okay, so thank you once again for joining us, guys, and we will pick this back up in a week or so, and we will start discussing the new stuff, and hopefully we'll have more episode descriptions soon, and if not, we'll live, because we're going to see it soon enough, and talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.